I'd like to talk a little bit about the tackle that we use for traditional loch style fishing here in Ireland. Rods vary in length from 10 foot to 11 foot 6, 11 foot 3. Some people like a 10 foot 6. I personally prefer a 10 foot 6 rod weighted for a number 6 or a number 7 line. The importance of light gear is that when you're fishing all day in winds and that you could be fishing for 8 to 10 hours at a time, you need a package that is very light and very easy to handle. That's why I've chosen a graphite reel along with a graphite rod to give me the maximum kind of benefit in terms of casting, so my arms don't tire and that. The line that we use normally is just standard mono. People have their own preferences. I tie on 2 droppers. I have a bob fly and then 2 droppers and a tail fly. And the droppers are attached using a 3-turn water knot. Generally is what I prefer. It's a good knot, it stays well and holds very, very firmly. Leader breaking strain, I use 8 pounds. Some people use 6 pounds, but I use 8 pounds and find it perfect. When you're fishing in Lough Corrib, occasionally you can come across salmon. And if your leader is too small and if you hook a salmon, you will break in the fish. So I always tend to use an 8-pound leader, and I feel that it doesn't really change in terms of how many fish I catch. It doesn't deter fish and that. So the package consists of a light reel, light rod, number 6 and number 7 line. This is an intermediate that I'm using at the moment. Earlier in the year I'd use a sinking line. Later in the year I might use a floating line or sink tip, but we vary the lines depending on water temperature and conditions and where the fish are actually lying in the water. Today we're struggling a little bit. The fish are down in the water, so we need to get down to try and meet them at their level and that. The whole package is that it's quite easy to handle. I have a braided leader here on top, which I attach with a 3-turn water knot, and that leader then is attached to the main line. So it's a nice simple package that's easy to handle in strong winds. Some people fish 4 flies. The difficulty with 4 flies is that if it's a very, very breezy day, you're going to get tangled. So cut it down and use 3 flies, space them well. I have my first dropper is 4 foot down, my next fly is 3 foot down, and then my tail fly is 5 foot down. So that's 4 and 3 is 7 and 5 is 12, and that's about a 12-foot leader that I use in that. Some people use more, some people use less, but I tend to find 12 foot is easily handled on this particular rod, 10 foot 6 rod. If I had to pick 3 flies today, this is my choice. On the tail, I have an Invicta I tied myself with a silver body. It's a bright day, bright fly, and that is why I chose that fly. A very effective fish taker during the mayfly. I got very, very good results on that all the time. My top dropper has to be one of the octopus patterns. Varied around either the green or yellow, varied different ways, tied differently, orange in them, has to be at this time an octopus pattern. I find that it pulls up a lot of fish. You mightn't hook them, but if you get them up in the water, you have a chance of hooking them. They might take a different fly further down. And in the middle, well, in the middle, you can choose. Today, I am going to put on a fiery brown in the middle. Or sometimes I might choose a bibio. And there is a bibio fly, just black with a red body on it. That is a very successful fly in Ireland. Keep that one as well. And that today are a fiery brown. So that's the dilemma that I have. Which will I choose? So I'm going to go with the bibio in the middle today. Again, silver body, a little bit of tinsel, a little bit of colour, catches the light. Bibio in the middle. Invicta on the tail. And my bumble, my octopus, tied bumble, tied style, palmered like a bumble, octopus on top. And they are my 3 flies of choice for today. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about loch style fishing as practiced here on Lough Corrib in County Galway. Loch style fishing has been practiced for many, many decades. I myself have fished this style of fishing for over 40 years. I've helped people and guided people out on the lakes and helped them start them, get them on the road to fishing, and most people who try it enjoy it. It's a very simple process. 2 anglers generally go on a boat and fish together. The boatman will take the centre position and will guide the boat along a drift, looking for feeding fish and hoping to spot a feeding fish so that he can row the boat either left or right or move the boat towards the feeding fish. And The day generally starts at 10 o'clock in the morning and ends at 6, with lunchtime in the middle to be chosen at any time. If the fishing is slack, pull into an island, have a cup of tea, have a chat, meet other fishermen, talk to them, see how they're getting on. It's a game of just acquiring knowledge and learning all the time. Lough Corrib is one of the best lakes in Ireland. It offers some of the best fishing. Why not? Come, try it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.